fundsupermart.com.
What is the outlook on the Malaysian equity market in second half of 2014?
Okay. The Malaysian market has done well last year, despite the fact that the earnings was relatively flat for last year. But going into this year, we see some earnings recovery. We are looking at somewhere between the mid-single digit to the high single digit, right? But what is more interesting about earnings trend is that we expect this earning trend to actually pick up further in 2015. Okay, so if you take that into consideration, that earnings are actually trending, earnings growth is actually trending up. And the valuation is just slightly above its long-run average. Likelihood is that the equity market will trend higher in the coming months. Although I wouldn't say that it will be in a straight line because there do exist a lot of external headwinds.
How do you think small to medium companies will fare in second half of 2014?
Okay, obviously everyone knows that small cap has done extremely well last year. And going into this year, at least the first quarter of this year, the small cap continue to outperform the whether it's the KLCI, the top 30 company, or even the FBM 100, right? And if you delve behind the reason why the small cap has done well, so to find out whether it can continue doing well. So on that, we will look at the earnings front. Okay, generally, like I mentioned earlier, the earnings for the company, the bigger company, are in the mid to high single digit. But the earnings growth for the smaller company, those outside, they say the FBM 100, okay, generally below about 2 billion in size, they are still showing earnings growth of in the low double digit to slightly higher to the mid double digit going forward in the next 1 to 2 years. So given the fact that the earnings growth is higher than the bigger company, and the fact that valuation-wise, for example, in terms of price-earnings ratio, they are still trading at a discount to the bigger company. Currently, it's about 11.5 times compared to the bigger company, which is close to 16 times already. Therefore, just from the valuation standpoint, there exists a case that the small cap will continue to do better than the bigger company. Now, having said that, I'd like to also caution investors that small cap space tend to be very volatile. And if you look at the earnings trend of smaller company, they can be pretty volatile. So if things, some external event happen and the earnings, they are not able to deliver the earnings, the share price also can correct quite sharply also. Yeah.
Can you name some of the performance drivers and also risks that may materialize this year?
Okay, if you were to look at the Malaysian economy, the Malaysian economy is expected to grow around 5% compared to last year, which it grew about maybe 4.7%, right? And the main reason for this higher growth is coming from, coming from the external sector, the export sectors. And also on the domestic side is coming from the investment side, right? So in terms of drivers, these two will be key to the Malaysian market, meaning on the external side, as we all know, a lot of the developed economies are actually recovering quite nicely, a bit with some noises here and there, but they are recovering, and therefore it bodes well going forward for our export sector. So companies which are exposed to the external side should benefit a lot from there, as we have already seen how some of these semiconductor company has done very well, right? Also, on the commodity side, also our price, palm oil and all that, has recovered quite well, and that also is driving the earnings on some of these plantation companies higher. Then on the domestic side, because of these investments, private investments, all that, it benefited, is benefiting specific sectors, especially in the construction, in the oil and gas, and some, I would say, ICT companies, those in the communication sectors.
In terms of risk?
Pardon?
Risk.
Okay, in terms of risk, yes, there do exist a lot of risks, as you all know. Okay, let's just cover quickly some of the external headwinds. Okay, in the US, we are very comfortable. Although there were some noises in the first quarter, whereby some of the economic numbers were weaker but that was weather related. Although there will be noises now and then. On the Europe side, it is growing nicely from a contraction point, but there are worry a bit on the low inflation in the country, in the region, leading to deflation, which also means that it may actually slows down the recovery. But that also we do not foresee as a major event that would cause the overall recovery. But the one event that may cause a sharp break in the financial markets would be what is happening in Ukraine. Yeah, and that is something that I don't think any of us are able to foresee the outcome. But that will be an event risk. But it will be, in my mind, it will be temporary. It will come, it will pass. Yeah, but it will not impact on the global recovery itself.
How is your portfolio position and how are you planning to go about the business of investing in second half of 2014?
Eastspring is basically a bottom-up, valuation-driven company. So in that respect, we are basically a stock picker, and under market condition whereby the market is already fairly valued, okay, stock picking becomes even more important, and that sits well with our investment style, right? Now, having said that, how do we go about looking for investment idea? Okay, one of the ways is basically a top-down, whereby we look at certain themes in the market. Okay, for example, currently we are looking at, for example, on the ETP side. That will make us focus on areas that will be benefiting from this particular program, like the oil and gas, the construction, and some of the infrastructure related. And also, we also mentioned that we see a recovery on the external side. So that will lead us to look for companies that are exposed to the external side in terms of the exports, right? And also, we also expect the capex capacity expansion to happen in the developed economy, given the fact that the recovery is coming through nicely. So that will obviously benefit companies which are also in that space. Yeah.
Can you give some reasons for the high allocation in cash for some of the Eastspring Malaysia equity funds?
Actually, the reason is more tactical because in recent months, a lot of our funds have been experiencing very good inflows, means people buying our funds. And our fund manager is actually taking this opportunity, getting more cash to selectively deploy them, especially in the first few months of this year, whereby the market was a bit volatile. So it's just basically a timing issue. It will be quite fully utilized or invested.